Hey Baylor fans, this is your call to gear up with Harley-Davidson of Waco. Whether you're hitting the open road or tailgating at McLean Stadium, we've got the ride to match your Bear pride. Check out our wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, visit our service department, or shop all the latest gear and accessories to show off your Baylor spirit and Harley pride. Visit us today and find your freedom on two wheels. Harley-Davidson of Waco, where Baylor fans never ride alone. Visit in-store or at hdwaco.com. Sic Em Bears. Hi, and welcome to the Sic Em Podcast, presented by Harley-Davidson of Waco. Sic Em Podcast. We love Harley-Davidson. Join us in welcoming another person that we love. It's Joey Scrivano, Baylor women's tennis coach, in his 23rd season here at Baylor. Joey, welcome to you.
Yeah, thanks, John. Great to be here.
Sorry we don't have a Harley for you to hop on. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, man. I would hop on it. I would take it for a spin. It'd be fun.
Have you ever been a motorcycle guy at all?
No, I have friends that are into motorcycles. One of my childhood buddies is actually I've lost track of him, but I heard he's a part of a motorcycle gang.
A gang.
So
Okay.
I'm sure he's driving a Harley, which is, it says a lot. That's awesome.
If he has good taste, he's driving a Harley. That's
exactly.
Good. I told you this before we started. We need to get our good friends at Harley to come and just bring a few bikes over to Baylor, and we'll just have kind of a lesson, a teaching lesson. Do you think they'd do that with those big machines?
They should do that for sure. Yeah.
Maybe it's a promotion. Yeah. Maybe it's a promotion at an upcoming tennis match.
No, for sure. I love it.
All right. We do love Harley. We appreciate you being with us today. We're into the spring after a busy fall for you, and even busier spring ahead. This year with Baylor doing all the hosting, Big 12 and NCAA, does it feel like it's, there's a pretty heavy load?
Yeah. I mean, it's... Baylor's become the home of college tennis for this season. So, there's just so many great events, and it's just such an opportunity for our athletes to compete, in the biggest events at home, which that's just so special, so unique. And then, of course, for the community to see some of the best tennis out there. College tennis has become a real springboard for the pros. So you're seeing some of the future tennis greats here in Waco. So pretty unique opportunity. And it is a heavy lift, I'm sure, from the, facility side and administrative side. And we just appreciate, the investment that Baylor's made into making these events special.
It's a big, big task, really, but I think we've got the people that are up to the task. I'm pushing for a sign on the outskirts of town, maybe one of those video signs that says, "Welcome to Tennis Town, USA." How would that be?
That would be neat.
Who would argue with that?
I don't think anybody would. And I think Harley-Davidson as
put Harley on there
sponsor
too,
right underneath. So that would make it even cooler.
Okay.
But absolutely. And as you know, tennis has been a big sport at Baylor for a long time. So this has been building, for us to get to this point where we're hosting the biggest tournaments.
Yeah, it has, and we hosted the NCAA Outdoor Championships in 2015. I remember that, how big a deal that was. Different format now, so it kind of stretches things out even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's now because we have the fall event, and then of course the team event in the spring, and then the men's national indoor here as well in a couple weeks. So. It's I think the perception of Baylor is that this is a tennis school. It's tennis is very important here, and that's a great thing. To be a coach at a school like that. That's awesome.
From a coach's perspective, what's the feeling among coaches about separating the singles and doubles with the team championships?
Yeah, like anything, it's change. So there's going to be some folks that don't love it, and then there'll be people that just like that it's something different. Yeah. I think the load on the athletes is better. Spreading it out, because that was a lot to have everything in May. You play the team event, then you're going and playing a singles event and a doubles as well. That just a lot of tennis. So. This is probably a little more student-athlete friendly.
Good. It changes, doesn't it? Doesn't it change what you do in the fall and the way you schedule and things like that?
Yeah. Now there's just a greater emphasis on performance in the fall, because you know the athletes want to compete in the NCAA championships, so there's just you know more of a pressure that they need to perform at a high level immediately. So there's good and bad to that, and ultimately we just try to mentor the players and navigate that, but that just, you know, comes with the territory when you're competing. You know, you want to win. Yeah.
I know you know this, and like for our viewers and listeners to know it also, that you can't host things like this, these huge events, without a great core in place of people, facilities, operations, Jackie Haddock, so many people who do such a good job, don't they, you know, to make it a first-class event.
Yes, we have the best people. You know, that's what makes Baylor so special, is that the people, they go the extra mile, and they've just invested a lot in these events. So we're very appreciative. Can't thank everyone that's been a part of it enough. Can't thank them enough. It's a big deal. Wouldn't happen without them.
That's true, yeah. And we've got the facilities now, too. The Hurd Tennis Center, expanded new court surfaces this year, and the Hawkins indoor facility, which you have to have.
Yes.
I mean, we've got the facilities to even be able to bid on this.
Absolutely. We have the best facilities in college tennis. I mean, that's obviously my opinion, but I would say, you know, that that's a pretty popular opinion in college tennis. I think the coaches love our facilities, love that Waco is up to the task of hosting these type of events, and that's another part of it. The Waco has just improved so much. You know, that Magnolia effect on our community is just amazing. Yeah. So the people have always been amazing, but now we have more restaurants, more hotels, and just more to offer.
Yeah.
So.
All comes together to make it a real destination.
That's right.
So this is your 23rd year. Think back when you came, or when you were even looking at coming to Baylor. Think about where we were then, facilities-wise, really athletic department-wise, everything, to where we are now. Huge growth, isn't it?
Oh, huge growth. Yeah, it's the difference is so vast. You know, you could see it back in 2002, came in 2002. I could see it then, you know, what was possible, and now for it to be realities is just amazing. Yeah.
You came here from South Alabama, is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
What do you remember about when you applied for this job, or when somebody called you and asked you about it? What was that like?
Yeah. So I was at the University of South Alabama, and we played Baylor actually that spring of 2002.
Okay.
So that was my first time in Waco, first time on campus. I saw the Hurd Center. You know, it looks different now, but you could see what was possible. It was pretty darn spectacular even then. And I remember just, it really hit me between the eyes. I'm like, this university, this community, this could be a powerhouse in college tennis. So, you know, we played the match, didn't think much of Baylor after that, you know, just kept coaching. And
Who won that match, by the way?
We won that match 7-0.
South Alabama did?
Yes.
Oh, 7-0,
yeah,
okay.
So we had a good day. We had a good day. But I remember, you know, just having positive thoughts about Baylor. And then that summer, the job happened to open up. You know, Coach Lutke, you know, retired. And he did such an amazing job to get the program to where it was at that point. You know, they went from minimal scholarships to making the Sweet 16 of the NCAA. Is pretty amazing. So, with that being said, the job came open, and I really wanted the job.
Did you?
Yeah, they didn't really want me, but I really wanted the job. So I remember calling. You know, our men's coach at the time, Matt Knoll, and I just said, hey, I'm in Austin. I'm working this tennis camp at University of Texas because my mentor was the head coach there. And, you know, I said, look, I'll walk there right now for an interview, you know. And he said, look, they're not interested. You know, we'll just, hey, all the best to you. We're not interested.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah. Well, then, you know, a few months later, I got a call from Matt. It was just a strange deal. I got a call from him, and I was ready to accept another job. And he just said, "Look, just you got to come. We'll get you here in the next 24 hours. You got to come." And then that's basically that's how it all happened.
How about that?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And sound like the timing worked
Yes,
out, right?
yeah, yeah.
If you'd taken another job, you
Yes.
probably couldn't have taken
No,
this one.
No, God's timing.
Yeah.
Because I was really, I didn't accept the other job, and I don't even know why I didn't at the time. It was really it was really God's intervention of like, no, this is where you're not supposed to go there. And I just said, well, give me a day or two to think about it. But I really was going to accept that other opportunity. But then, I got Matt's call, and the rest is history.
How about that? That's a
Yeah.
pretty good story.
Yeah.
Plus, Courtney was here. I mean, you had to come to Waco,
Yes,
right?
yeah, yes.
That's
yeah.
part of it. Courtney's
That's a
your
part
wife.
of it too.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know this part of your story. How'd y'all meet?
So, So when the indoor was the opening, the grand opening of the indoor,
right.
Hawkins Indoor Tennis. Right. She was there in a development
working in development.
Yeah,
okay.
on the university side.
Okay.
So, that was the first time, maybe the second time I ever interacted with her.
Okay.
And then we had a mutual friend down at the Olive Branch, and she was kind of having a friend's dinner there after hours. So I happened to go, and she was there, and I was in a competition with a few other guys trying to talk to her, and
right.
Yeah, and long story short, we somehow I got her number. We were on this group text, and I had to sift through who, okay, it's not her.
Right, right.
So I narrowed it down to a couple options. So
you were motivated.
I was
to
motivated.
Get that number.
Yeah. I did my due diligence there. But I just kept hounding her for a date, and she just, and she'll tell you, she was really I don't know, she just wasn't sure.
Right.
She's like, who is this guy, and what's the deal?
Sure.
And
fair enough.
And coaches always get a bad rap. When you're a successful coach, they always just think you got to be a jerk or something. So anyway, it was great. She gave me a chance, and if you give me a chance, I'll take it from there.
There you go. That's a pretty good story.
Yeah.
I can tell you this, that I remember way back, maybe it was when y'all first started dating, that all of a sudden Courtney was around, tennis a little more than I'd seen. Yeah. And then I saw y'all talking and walk off together after a match, and I thought, wait a second. So I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I saw that and figured it out. And now Courtney is in athletics and has been for a while in several different roles, but doing a great job.
Yes.
How do y'all, as a family, and you got two boys, how do you navigate her schedule and your schedule?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot, but I think the biggest motivator that we have is that we love Baylor. And we want to see Baylor athletics. We want to see it thrive, and that's really the heart behind, having the busy schedule and just we're flying by the seat of our pants every day. But we really love Baylor, and we feel like we're called to do our part to add value to the athletic department, to the university. So. If we didn't have that, I don't know, if we could do it, because ultimately we're sacrificing a lot to do that, and like anybody that works in athletics, you got to be willing to work long hours, and that's just a part of it. So, yeah, our love of Baylor is really the key, and she's just amazing. She's such a hard worker. She
Definitely.
puts in so much time, and on top of that, she just has a great mind for this industry, So anyway, I think we're a pretty good team. I'm the coaching side. I give her the coaching perspective. She gives me the big picture perspective from the athletic business side.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's fun.
It's a pretty good balance.
Yes.
I'm guessing there's times you come home and use her, to bounce ideas, bounce things off of, and maybe she does the same with you.
Yes, absolutely. I think we have diverse way of looking at things, because obviously my experience as a coach and hers as an administrator, and she's worked outside of athletics too, so she brings a lot of different perspectives. But yeah, we were definitely sounding boards for each other, and I think that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to be able to go home and talk about something and get be able to speak with your spouse about something that is really important to you, and get someone to actually give you really good mentorship. So it's fun.
That's really cool. And Nico and Luca are great. They're growing up Baylor boys, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Well, they love the Bears. Yeah, they love the Bears. They're great, and they look up to their mom. I guess they look up to me as well, but they really hold their mom and dad into high regard. They see what they see that, for instance, our team will be around a lot. They're around the kids a lot, and they see that, okay, this is part of coaching. It's not just X's and O's. It's about family, and they see that we embrace these young women from all over the world, and they become a part of our family. So it's a really neat upbringing they're having to be a part of this. So.
I can see that. Those guys, like Courtney said, y'all had the Christmas party at your house.
Yeah.
And those guys have these big sisters or aunts or, I don't know how they look at them, but what a cool deal for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they're getting an education on the world. We have players from all over, from all different continents, and they ask them questions, and they're curious about that, and it's just really fun. I think one day they'll realize, wow, that's a cool situation to be on a campus like Baylor. Right. That's already a big win, and then to have your parents involved in athletics, and then have these amazing student athletes around all the time. Yeah, I don't know if it gets better than that. It's pretty good.
Very good. Love your family and love the family atmosphere, that you've created with your program also. You, growing up, were in Canada. You're a Canada native, the 51st state, Canada. So what was that? How did you get to the United States?
Yeah. I'm so thankful that I was able to find tennis, that God put tennis in my life, because that gave me an opportunity. When I was 14, I started playing, and it really gave me something to strive for. And it gave me an identity. I wanted to become a really good tennis player. So, once I kind of learned, okay, what does that even mean? How do you even define being a good tennis player? Well, I started learning about scholarships, about these amazing opportunities in the U.S., and so that became my thing. I said, I'm going to get one of these scholarships, and I'm going to continue to play tennis.
Nice.
The education piece was just secondary. It was more, I wanted that tennis education, and that was the whole thing. So I was able to do that, got a scholarship at Eastern Michigan, had an amazing experience, great people there, and and then got into coaching, and it's 23 years later at Baylor.
Wow.
It's pretty remarkable. Yeah,
that's great. Eastern Michigan, a little bit south of Toronto. It's not too far away, though, really, is it?
No, it was only about 3.5 hours.
Is that right?
Yeah. From where I grew up. So, yeah.
Great, and it's worked out so very well. Another aspect that anybody that knows you knows is you're the biggest Celtics fan that I know. Where does that go back to?
So growing up in Toronto, at the time we didn't have an NBA team. So it was basically the Celtics or the Lakers. And the Lakers came on a little later at night, and the Celtics were kind of on Eastern time zone. So I caught a lot of Celtics games during probably one of the best eras they've ever had, with Bird, Parrish, McHale, the big three. So I just fell in love with basketball. Really, my first love was hockey, and I'm always going to be a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, but basketball was a close second, and the Celtics were the team. If the Raptors were there, I would have been a Raptors fan.
Sure, right. They came along a little bit later.
That's right.
Did you play hockey growing up, too?
Yeah, I played a lot of hockey, a lot of street hockey, because hockey's expensive. It's an expensive sport, so played hours and hours I would get back from school and just play. I'd go outside and be playing street hockey for hours on end. My mom would have to drag me back in. And so that was really how I got my athletic base, was just playing a ton of hockey.
How about that?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Very good. So back to this year's team, and we're just hitting the streak of the schedule, the strength of the schedule really in the spring. But y'all had at the start of this spring the ITA indoors, and man, y'all played Texas off their feet, nearly won that match against UT.
Yeah, that was a tough match. Anytime you play the Horns, it's going to be a battle, and but I was really proud of the way we competed. Texas, to start the season is a favorite to win the national championship. So they got a great team right now. So for our team, which is a younger team, it's a mix of younger and older players. But for our team to battle them to a third set breaker for the match is pretty amazing. So we're moving in the right direction, and that's really the most important thing, is that we just keep progressing.
Very good. Well, we got the big party coming up in May, and you certainly want to be a part of that. You mean we want to have your team qualified. So good luck. Sounds like you've got the makings of a really good team.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if we keep progressing, then we'll have a chance to be there for sure.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Great to visit with you.
Yeah, thanks John.
For sharing with us. We'll see if we can get a Harley in here to borrow and ride at some point. But best of luck, continued luck this spring.
Yeah, thanks, John.